What is your most awkward moment in Taiwan?
Like one morning, I was waiting to go to the office, and then a Taiwanese man, he came to me and he
Hello,
Hi,
may I ask what's your name?
it's Saran.
Where do you come from?
I am from Turkey.
Turkey.
Turkey. Yes.
How do you say it?
Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, is that an Arabic name?
No, it's Turkish.
In English, officially it's called Turkey.
We changed it like a year or a year and a half ago, so it's officially called Turkey now.
Oh, I never heard of this. Nice. How long have you been in Taiwan?
For about 3 years now.
Why did you choose to come to Taiwan?
It's because of my work. I work here at an American startup, and I knew the company before. I really wanted to work for them, and they had a vacancy for me here in Taiwan. So I took it, but I came to Taiwan to visit before and I really liked it, so I like being in Asia.
What do you like most about Taiwan?
I really enjoy discovering new bars. Every little bar has a concept or a theme, and they have their own cocktails, and I think it's very, very nice that you can always find out like something different when you walk into a bar here. I like that, for example, even in a big city like Taipei, the nature is really within reach. You can do anything you want from a city life here, but also if you want to escape, like you can do that in about 30 minutes, and you can go to the mountains or you can find like hot springs. So yeah, I like that it's a very natural place and people protect it. It's amazing.
What is maybe one or two main cultural difference between Taiwan and Turkey?
That's a difficult one because there are a lot of differences. One of the main things that comes to my mind is living in Turkey or in Istanbul. I'm just comparing like two big cities. People are always in a rush, like they walk really fast. I walk really fast too, and people are kind of like too serious and a little bit too aggressive. Like in Taiwan, everybody's so chilled out, everything's too easy, and people are very calm and friendly, I feel like.
What strikes you first when you arrive in Taiwan?
I guess when I first came to Taiwan and I went to a night market, like a food market, and that's an interesting cultural thing that we don't really have in Turkey, or I think in Europe it's not very common either. But like in Asia, especially in Taiwan, there are a lot of night markets, which I really enjoy as a cultural experience.
What part of Taiwanese culture do you find mostly interesting?
I think what is really interesting to me and different is they like cute things. Like they try to make everything cute, even something very serious, like they find the cuteness in it and they make everything less intimidating. Like I love those dogs at the airport that are like there to smell your luggage because they're so cute. Like the dogs we have, the security dogs we have in Turkey, they're like huge and intimidating, but these ones are just like so friendly and cuddly. But not just that, it's like even when I go to a basketball game, like every single detail is just very, very cute. It's almost like impossible to take it serious. So all these little details they pay attention to, I think it's very adorable.
Is one or two things that people do differently in your country?
Dating is very different. The dating culture is different. Like how guys approach to girls is, I think, also quite different in Turkey.
Can you highlight on that?
I think in Taiwan, guys are very kind. They don't like cross any boundaries, and they are a bit, maybe my experience, are shy or at the shyer end. So it is very different than how it is in Turkey, because in Turkey guys are very much like open, assertive, and sometimes to the degree that it can be too much even. But it is really very different. Like they can really insist and do not take no as an answer and so on. But here, like people don't insist. They just give you your space. If they want to keep in touch, they just don't bother you. Maybe they take your Instagram, and so they never like push it too hard.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends on the person, right? So like for me, I like that my boundaries are respected, and I think it's all about like reading that person. But I also like people being assertive and know what they want. So I'm like in the middle.
What is your most awkward moment in Taiwan?
Like one morning I was waiting to go to the office, and then a Taiwanese man, he came to me and he started like giving me compliments, I think, and he was telling me like your eyebrows are very beautiful, and he was like showing things and saying "Pyongyang," like I could understand a few things that he was saying. And then he like shook my hand, and I of course like I gave my hand, and he just didn't let go. He was like this. So we were like this for like a few minutes. I was like, shi, 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 and he just wouldn't let go of my hand. And I really didn't understand what he was saying, like most of the things that he was saying. So that was a little awkward for me. I didn't know how to get out of that situation. But then I was like, I have to go to work, and I took my hand back. I was like, oh. I think even that was kind of awkward, but it was like that was okay and funny in a way.
During your stay here in Taiwan, have you encountered any difficulties?
I think overall it's a very safe and easy place to be among all the other countries that I've been to. I think it's safer than like Europe in many terms, for example. But for me, the main difficulty is that I don't speak Mandarin, and I've been here for quite some time, so it's on me that I don't speak. But you know, I'm missing out on those like daily interactions, and even if I go to like a convenience store, I just try to make things work by like pointing at them or just like using Google Translate, which is not ideal. So yeah, that's the main difficulty I encounter.
What do you find mostly annoying in Taiwan?
I'm not a big fan of the traffic lights. The traffic lights, somehow, even if you're a pedestrian, you end up waiting for too long, and even if you're on a car, you again get stuck at the traffic lights. So I don't really know, like whichever side of the situation you are, you just end up getting stuck at traffic lights. And this sort of like bugs me than it does in Turkey or in Europe. So I think that's what bothers me every time I try to take a walk.
How do you make friends here?
The first one was I met someone Turkish when I first arrived, completely coincidentally. And then he introduced me to a lot of his like Turkish friends and Taiwanese friends. I was joining like the events they were going. And then there's an expat group or like group of foreigners that live in Taiwan. I think when you get to meet one or two of those people, and when they invite you around, you just get to meet a lot of people. So especially that's how it happened for me. I was here during like COVID time, so not many people were leaving or coming. A lot of the people were here to stay. So that's when I, you know, had a chance to like meet a lot of foreigners and also like Taiwanese people. On top of that, I do photography, and I met some people through that. I have some models I worked with who also became my friends eventually.
What do you have in Turkey that you miss not having in Taiwan?
I'm a big fan of Turkish food. I love Mediterranean cuisines in general, and I can find Turkish food here. There are a few really nice restaurants, but they're a little like pricey. It's not one of those places that you can go to every day. Yeah, I miss the home-cooked Turkish meals, and I sometimes try to cook it myself, but I'm not a great cook, so I just miss the ones that I have.
What's your favorite Taiwanese food?
Hot pot. It's not just the food itself. I'm a big fan of the concept, because when you have hot pot, it's something you do in a group of people, and like the conversation on the table, like the people you get together with, it gives me a lot of like Christmas vibes in a way. I just like that vibe.
What advice would you give to a first-time visitor in Taiwan?
I think they should really try to, of course, like after discovering all the touristic parts, they should try to blend in and go to more local spots, go try to explore the nature, definitely check out the nature. If they have the time, they can go on hikes or camping. And yeah, just try to have those like daily interactions with the people, because I think people are really friendly here and they're really helpful. And even if you don't really speak the language, or if you just speak a few words, they will really like try to help you. I remember the first time I came here, I love trying out new fruits, and I went to this market and I was like trying to get one of each fruit just to try. And this lady who was selling the fruits, she was really like trying to help me. She was showing me the photos and she was trying to tell me how to eat them, like translating everything on Google Translate. It was just like for one fruit. I thought it was really, really lovely.
Do you have anything else to tell Taiwanese people?
I really appreciate that Taiwanese people are friendly, open-minded, helpful, and they're really, really welcoming, respect nature a lot, and they really like well maintain it, and I think they're very honest. So I feel very safe, secure to be here. I love that they welcome all the foreigners who live here. So I think you guys are amazing, and I think there's so much we can learn from each other.
All right. Thank you very much and welcome to Taiwan.
Thank you too.